It is time for our WNWO Moms on the Go segment, and we are talking to, of course, our ladies here. We've got Molly, Lisa, and Allie. So how was the drive-in?
It was not very good.
It's very, very foggy. Well, we're glad you made it here because we have a great discussion in store. We're talking all about not only back to school, we know that that's the time of year right now, but making sure that kids are off to a great start, breakfast, and it's nutritional at the same time. Plus the importance of family dinner. It seems like family dinner is kind of been a thing of the past for some families. So we'll get right into that conversation. We'll start off with you, Molly, since we're already talking to you. Let's talk about the importance of healthy eating when going back to school.
Well, I think that, you know, obviously healthy eating is important, and in the last couple of years it seems there's been a huge focus on it just because of the obesity rate, you know, in the United States, especially with children. So, you know, I have a little boy that's 2 that's been sick for about a year and a half, and you know, it's been a huge focus, and we've had to like reevaluate all of our eating. So you know, making sure that kids are not just eating cereal in the morning, but getting some protein and, you know, possibly fruit and yogurt, just to give them those nutrients that they need to get through the day, you know, and get through school.
Yeah, and even if they're not in school yet, even if they're at home, you do want to get them started off early because those habits could, you know, follow them later on in life, Lisa.
Yeah, I definitely think so. For me, I have a 2.5-year-old, and he's always been on the smaller side. He's, you know, not even on the charts with weight and stuff, so they always tell us he's really small. But they always say to give him higher calorie foods, but we still want to, we're really trying to get him to eat very healthy, so we try to find higher calorie foods that wouldn't necessarily be bad for him. You know, things like bagels and cheese and stuff like that, but nothing, you know, just because you might need something higher calorie doesn't mean you need all the sugar and all the fat and all all the junk food.
Next. Allie, I want to talk about that because it's hard, but you know, kids love, you know, if they get a taste of sugar, it's one of those things where they want it all the time. So how do you manage that?
My kids still eat, like I'm strictly organic and I'm pretty much gluten-free, but I still let them have, you know, like my husband brought a Snickers home the other night and they had it, but you just manage it. You don't give it to them every single day, and it's just a special treat that they can have every once in a while and at birthday parties.
Now, what does organic mean in your household?
Organic means no pesticides, so we buy all organic vegetables, and then we buy our beef local. We buy grass-fed beef. Which is very high in a lot of things that grain-fed beef doesn't have, which is a whole nother discussion in itself. I mean, this is totally crazy.
We can go into this whole organic thing for another 5 minutes.
So we're really organic and just try to buy the best produce that's out there.
And that works for your family.
It works for our family. Yes, that's what we do, and not everybody does it, but it works.
And now family dinners, that's another thing, you know, by the time you've gotten the kids to, maybe you're taking them to daycare or school, whatever it may be, by the end of the day, a lot of moms are tired, and it's very easy to just go grab something. What do you recommend, Molly?
Well, being a working mom, you know, that picks her kids up at 5 o'clock and then doesn't get home till 5:30, you know, I know the struggle of getting dinner on the table and still trying to spend time with your kids and making a healthy meal. So for me, it's, you know, a chance to understand every night, like what my kids did during the day, you know, and get a little bit more information, even at 2 and 4, you know, about what's going on in their head. And for me, it, you know, it gives us 45 minutes that we sit down and, you know, I'm able to give them a good nutritious meal, but also, you know, keep intact and make sure, you know, there's nothing going on that maybe I wouldn't notice because we don't have 45 minutes to sit down.
3 lovely moms join us for Moms on the Go. Of course, we have Allie Dar, Lisa Harst, and Molly Pearson. Today we are talking about healthy lunches for your kids. That's a good subject as everybody's heading back to school. And I'm sure a lot of moms, you're so busy, I'm sure you're just tempted to just take whatever is in the fridge and throw it in there. So what's the best advice? What do you have for us, Lisa?
I think it's all about balancing. For me, if I don't have something unhealthy in the house, it's easier not to eat it. Like, you know, if you don't buy it, it's not there. So I always try as hard as I can only buy like one snack or one junk food for Colton. It's kind of like a reward more so than having it every day. And, you know, I try to get him with like a turkey sandwich. You want cheese, things that are like protein and a dairy product and, you know, a little bit of everything,
get all
not
the
just
food groups on.
And maybe try to make the dessert even more of a healthier dessert than something so sugary, and you know, you don't want your hyper kids sprinting around school.
Try to teach your kids.
You don't want that to be your kid.
Now, Allie, you are really into organic food, correct?
We are, yes. We are very into organics. We buy locally. We have a farmer in Grand Rapids, Ohio that we use for all our meat, and we buy organic produce too.
Great, wonderful. All right, Molly, what about you? You are the working mom of the group, so I'm sure it's tempting when you're thinking about your lunches just to be like, oh, let's just grab something. Do you ever think let's just grab some fast food? I'm sure there's a is it tempting?
Yeah, I mean, having a little boy that's been, finicky about what he's been able to eat, we're really leery about the fast food.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. Start young.
Right, and we try to do a lot of like well-balanced meals, fruits and vegetables being the biggest part of what they eat, and then adding in the protein and dairy and keeping it well-balanced. But we were able this summer to kind of start our own garden, and so the kids got to help plant and pick, and we're able to see where their food come from. So
that's really great. Yeah, teach responsibility as well.
Right.
All right, Super Supper. You guys are going to meet there soon, right?
Yeah, we're going to do a once-a-month event for it doesn't have to be moms, any women in the area. We want to get people together, try to promote healthy eating and have fun at the same time. So there's Super Suppers in Perrysburg. It's right past Levis Commons, I guess on the right-hand side if you're coming from the Expressway. We're going to start next Friday, the 14th, at 6:30 p.m. We're going to have as many women as can come, invite their friends. We're going to you can make your own meals, and then if you have allergies, you can opt out of the nuts or the cheese, so it's a healthy meal to take home, and you can also put them in your freezer and bake them when you're ready. So.
That's a great idea.
And we can bring wine, drinks.
There you go. Yeah. Make it a nice, fun Friday night. That's what hey, wait, I'm not a mom. Can I still go?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, I think one of the other things we should point out, too, is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So there's a ton of websites out there that offer different alternatives for lunches instead of just making your kids a sandwich all the time.
Right.
There's a family that started a blog called 100 Days of Real Food, and they have a ton of on-the-go good recipes that are all natural, no preservatives.
Great. And you guys will list some of those websites on your blog.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that right? momsandheels.net. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I hate that we're out of time. It's always so fun just to sit around and talk to you guys.